Hello all. This video we can discuss about data types in Java. First of all, what is a data type? Whatever the language we consider, we need to understand what is a data type. If you consider, there are some numbers, variables, constants here. Suppose if we ask anyone to make these things into group, make them into some groups, then this may be a first group, this is the second group, this is the third group. The first group is known to be an integer, second group is a float, and third group may be a character. This is nothing but a data type. This does not mean that only these three things are the data types. There exist more data types. We can define a data type like this. The variables or constants which we use in programming, we can understand like different groups based on what type of values they are holding. We can call each group as a data type. This first group is integer data type, this second group is character data type, the third group is float data type. We can have an alternative definition of a data type. It is a type of a data so that a compiler or interpreter can understand about what is the data using by a programmer while constructing the programs. Suppose if you consider, if you want to store an information like whether a student is fee paid or not, we need to use boolean data type because this represents true or false. Suppose we want to store grade of a student, single character, that is represented by char data type. Character data type, its keyword is char. Suppose if you want to store age of a person, we need to use byte. Sometimes we can use, for age of a person we can use integer also, but age of a person will have the maximum value of approximately 100 or 110. It does not require more bytes of information like integer, so that's why some less bytes of information is enough, so which is possible by using byte data type. Similarly, number of students in a department, we need to use short. Suppose if you want to store any Aadhaar number, we can use long. Roll number of a student, we can use integer. Suppose the average marks of a student, which is in decimals, that means after the point how many digits you are using, that is based on whether you have to use the float or double. The account balance, you can use double. Suppose if you want to store any name of a student, we can use a string. Marks of a students in all the subjects, we can use the array. So this represents a complete examples for a data type. If you see, there are major two types of data types. One is primitive, another one is non-primitive. If you see integer 25, example is 25. If you see character, example some A. If it is array 10, 20, 30, 40. Group of contiguous memory locations. Similarly, group of characters will become a string. Based on this information, we can able to understand that array and strings need more blocks. Integer and character need only a single block. Integer and character comes under primitive data type. Array and strings comes under non-primitive data types. Based on this information, complete information, whatever we have done till now, we can define the data types in Java in this following format. Data types in Java are two types, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive, we can have again two types, non-numeric type and numeric type. Numeric means like numbers. If you consider boolean and character, which are not numbers, that's why non-numeric. Numeric type again divided into two. One is integer type and another one is floating point type. Byte, short, int and long are the integer types. The difference between these four is number of bytes required to store the value. If you need less number of bytes, we can use byte, and increasingly short, then int and then long. Similarly, floating point also. If you need more values to be represented, you use double. Otherwise, you use a float data type. Right? All these comes under primitive. If it is non-primitive, as I told you, only single block is primitive, non-primitive is multiple blocks. Strings and arrays. Not only strings and arrays, there are more non-primitive data types in Java, which are to be discussed in the further sessions, like class, like object, array list. There are many non-primitive data types. The major are strings and arrays. That's why I kept etc. So this represents the classification among the data types in Java. Thank you.